Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Hecate's Garden, a poison plant special. Please excuse my voice today as I'm still recovering from the dreaded COVID. So today I'll be talking about black henbane or hyoscyamus niger, which is a member of the nightshade family and as a notorious herb of witches, very much associated with hexing, spirit conjuration and the underworld. Now, there are a number of folk names associated with this plant, such as devil's eye or hog's bean, or my personal favourite, hen bells, because these flowers really are quite pretty and they do very much resemble little bells. So I have literally been waiting all summer to do this video because I do have a special relationship with this plant and I've been filming its progress as it has grown this year so I can share it with you. So I have to grow this plant in a pot at the moment because I have a young dog and she does have a tendency to eat things she shouldn't. So I've used a pot where I could essentially move it out of harm's way, and that's how I grew it last year as well. And this has resulted in a much smaller plant. Henbane can grow to about 90 centimetres in height and the leaves can become much larger than what you see with this little plant here. So this is basically a mini henbane plant, and even though it's cute and fluffy and pretty, it can also be deadly if ingested. So this is a plant that you need to take extreme caution with if you are going to grow it, and particularly if you plan to use it for witchcraft or healing purposes. There are no culinary uses for henbane, as it should not be ingested. This is just a reminder that this video is for entertainment and information purposes only, and I am in no way, shape or form giving medicinal advice, just to be clear on that. I have also put some timestamps in the description box below for your convenience. Henbane is such an interesting plant and it really does have a presence to it, and when I first decided to grow henbane I anticipated it to be a difficult plant to cultivate, but I quickly found that that wasn't really the case at all. It does need the heat of the summer and the midday sun, and it thrives in a sunny position with lots of sunlight. I didn't need to use any fancy type of compost. I just used a basic compost from the local shops and it doesn't require much fussing with. I watered it in the morning, as is my usual routine with my plants, and if it was particularly hot I might water it in the evening as well. Apart from that, it's more or less left to its own devices. To the touch it has an oily sticky feel to it, and it's got these fine white fluffy hairs on it and yellow flowers with purplish veins and long leaves. It is said to smell really bad, hence one of its names, stinking nightshade, but I don't think it smells that much, to be honest. When it's in bloom it has a sort of light sickly sweet scent, but when the plant begins to die off, it's then that it gives off a bit more of an unpleasant, almost fishy smell. Hyoscyamus niger is the Latin name for black henbane, and it is part of the notorious nightshade family. It has a long history of use throughout Europe as a traditional medicine, and it was used as a sedative and for pain relief, also as a pre-operative anaesthetic. It's antispasmodic and hypnotic, and was used as a treatment for rheumatic pain and asthma. It contains tropane alkaloids which act on the central nervous system, and it's interesting to note how the plant develops this long spine of seed pods that does look a lot like a human spine. It is highly toxic, and if too much is ingested, it can lead to hallucinations, convulsions, confusion, vomiting, respiratory paralysis, and death, amongst quite a few other adverse effects as well. So, as well as being toxic for humans to ingest, it is also toxic to cattle, birds, and other wild animals, but pigs are able to eat it, strangely enough. The gender of henbane is feminine, and its element is water. It is associated with a number of planets, so if you were looking to use henbane in your planetary magic, then it's good for use with Saturn, Venus and Mercury. Saturn because of its associations with the underworld and deities of the underworld, such as Hecate, for who the series is named for, and Hades, and the goddess Hel. So you can burn the seeds to conjure spirits of the underworld, and it is also used to summon the spirits of the dead. So henbane can act as a sort of a bridge of connection between the living and the dead. You can use it for devotional workings to Hecate and workings pertaining to the chthonic realm. So it can be used with Venus for love magic, as henbane is known to be an aphrodisiac and used in some massage oils and love spells, and Mercury for visionary and shape-shifting magic and the shamanic arts. It was also sacred to Apollo and was used it was one of the visionary herbs used by the oracle at Delphi. So henbane is well known as a witch's herb, particularly one of the flying ointment herbs. Henbane is also connected to funeral rites, and you can also use it in your ancestral magic. It can be used for divination and scrying. It is also connected to Thor and other thunder gods, and can be utilised for weather magic. So as I record this video, it is the 3rd of October, and it can also be used in any Samhain rites or rituals. Now, I have made my own henbane oil with the flowers and leaves using olive oil and a quick heat method. So my original intention was to use it as a topical oil for aches and pains, but it can also be used topically for trance work, or it can be used to anoint and consecrate witchcraft tools, or for any of the workings I previously described in the magical uses section. So I could also use this oil to make a salve or an ointment, but I just as well use the oil as it is, to be honest. And with this oil, it's important to do a small skin patch test first to check for any possible allergic reactions and to test the potency, because each henbane plant is going to vary in its strength, and you should get a fair idea then of how much you need to use. In my opinion, a little goes a long way. This particular oil is fairly weak, I'd say, but I would rather it be a little bit weak than too strong, and it is for external use only, so this oil should not be ingested at all. Even though there are no children in my house, mine are all grown up and long flown the nest, even so, this oil is still kept in a locked cupboard that is part of my Hecate's altar, along with my other potentially dangerous witchcraft items or magical powders, etc. I do regard this oil as a holy oil, and it is used with reverence, as it should be. So any sources used here for this video will be listed in the description box below, along with a few other interesting links and articles I found on Henbane. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe and share, and do feel free to check out my other videos and playlists. I am the Red Lady, and I will see you soon.